In this video, we're going to repair a torn or frayed buttonhole. Stay with me and I'll show you how. Sometimes our buttonholes can get torn or frayed, or the stitches can come undone, which can cause threads to come loose and get caught in our button. But don't worry, this is an easy fix. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is to cut away any excess threads or fraying and remove any thread that might be left. Now we've removed all our loose ends, it's time to start sewing. I've double threaded a needle with an arm span of thread and I've tied the ends into a knot. We're going to begin and end our stitches at one end of the slit opposite to the tension end. The tension end is where the button will sit when the garment is done up, and because this will add stress, we want to keep our first and last stitches at the opposite end away from the tension. Bring our needle through at the edge, going through all the layers, and then back up through the buttonhole slit. We pull the thread almost all the way through, and when we come to the end, we want to come in between the two threads where the knot is, and pull that through, and pull it tight. And to anchor the thread, I make a couple of back stitches. Next, we work a running stitch along the edge of the buttonhole slit, about 2 mm from the edge. Make sure to go through all the layers. This will help prevent further fraying while we're working. It will also be a useful guide for our buttonhole stitch. Now we've come back round to the beginning, we're going to begin our buttonhole stitch. We take our needle, we come down through the buttonhole slit, and then we come up through all the layers, just under our row of running stitch. Bring the thread underneath the needle, pull it through, and pull it tight. And our first buttonhole stitch is done. Let's do the next. We come down through the buttonhole slit, back up through all the layers underneath our row of running stitch, staying as close as possible to the last stitch. Bring the thread underneath the needle and pull through. Down through the buttonhole slit, up through all the layers, close to the last stitch. Bring the thread under the needle and pull through. Down through the slit, up through all the layers, bringing the thread underneath the needle and pulling through. Down through the slit, up through all the layers, bring the thread under and pull through. Keep working this stitch all the way around, trying to keep the stitches as close together as possible. The closer together they are, the stronger the buttonhole will be. Keep working all the way around until you come back to the beginning. And when we've worked all the way around the slit and we've come back to the beginning, we finish off our buttonhole by making a few stitches at the end, from the top to bottom of our stitches. There's no set number, but about half a dozen should do it. And with our final stitch, we push our needle through to the back of our work. We hold our needle close to the fabric and wrap our thread around the needle twice. We hold that down with our thumb as we pull the thread through. This is to keep the knot close to the fabric. Then we come under those stitches that we just made. It's a bit hard to see because they're right on this stripe. We bring our needle under those stitches, pulling the knot we've just made underneath. We can then cut our thread, and our buttonhole is complete. And that's how to mend a torn or frayed buttonhole.